video, we're going to be going over how the disruption missions work in GTA 5 Online for the Cayo Perico Heist, and what exactly happens when you complete them fully, and what happens if you don't complete them all the way or you cancel out. So what is going on, guys? I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. I'm going to try and keep this video as short as possible, but the reason I'm doing this video is I had a comment this past weekend talking about the disruption missions, and they said something that I've heard quite a lot, so it wasn't just them. I've heard this over the past year when I talk about disruption missions. And what that is people think that you can just start up a disruption mission and then switch, go to another invite-only lobby, and it'll be complete. So you don't have to actually complete the entire thing because it'll be done. That is not the case at all, and we're going to be going over what you have to do in order to get the full benefits of the disruption missions, what the disruption missions actually do, and why a lot of people think this. So let's get into it. So first and foremost, what are disruption missions? Well, as you can see here, it is part of the prep for the Cayo Perico Heist, but all three of these are optional. You don't have to do them if you don't want to. And to be completely honest with you, if you're a veteran of the Cayo Perico Heist, you don't need to do these at all. Like for me, I can do the Cayo Perico Heist without triggering the alarm, getting the elite challenge, not needing these in the slightest. But if you are someone that struggles with the heist, these will make it basically impossible to fail. And I do have a video that was posted a few days ago. I'll leave it linked in the description if you want to check that out. So the weapon one is unique because it's one of the 3 missions that is optional for completion. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean you can start it and then just back out and go to an invite-only lobby and it'll show completed and that means it's done. It just means there's 3 sections to the weapons mission. And what those 3 sections are is taking out 3 separate arms dealers. So the 3 dealers are going to be scattered across the map. The first one is going to be what they call street punks, where it's pretty simple. You just fly on over and you can just take out the 1 arms dealer and then fly away. The second target, or it could be the third, depending on which order you do them in, is an arms dealer that is in the turret on the back of a barrage. Now, this vehicle is surrounded by security. Again, if you use a sniper, you don't have to worry about any of those. And you can actually just shoot him in the head. You don't need to chase this car down. Just shoot the guy on the minigun, and that second one will be complete. And the third target is an arms dealer that's testing ballistic equipment. Again, they're going to be surrounded by guards, including some lost MC members, and he has ballistic equipment and he's going to be armed with a minigun. Now, this guy's a little bit more difficult to kill, but honestly, if you just use a sniper, get some high ground, and you can take them out. I think it takes like 9 shots, so you don't have to get too close to them. And also, I should mention, all 3 of these arms dealers, you can't missile lock onto them. So it's not like you can just lock on, blow them up. You do have to, if you're using like an oppressor or a sparrow or a buzzard, you are going to have to use like free aim to shoot the rockets. You can do it that way. Just for me, I think it's easier using a sniper from a distance. Now, this is where it gets interesting and where I feel like a lot of people have confusion with this. Because when you start any of these 3 optional disruption missions, it's a one-time thing. There is a timer when you start it and you can't redo these. So if you fail it, you won't be able to do it again. And I think that's what confuses people, because once they failed it or backed out and switched lobbies, it shows up as completed because you can't do it again. It's not because you've actually completed the setup mission. It's just that you can't do it twice. So if you start this off and you don't complete it within the time frame, you're not going to get the benefits. So why is the weapon one unique? Well, like I say, there's 3 separate arms smugglers that you have to take out. And like I say, this one's optional because you can choose just to take out 1 of them. You can choose to take out 2 of them, or you can choose to take out all 3 of them. If you don't take out any, you won't get any bonuses. If you take out 1, you'll get a little bonus. 2, you'll get a bigger bonus. And 3, you'll get the biggest bonus possible. So what are the benefits of these 3 different arms smugglers? So when you're doing the Cayo Perico Heist, if you don't do this disruption mission at all, or if you just start it and cancel out right away, the guards' primary weapons are going to be the assault rifle Mark II or a military rifle, and their secondary weapons is going to be a mini SMG. But now let's say you've started up this mission and you take out just 1 of them. Taking out 1 of them will mean that the guards no longer have those weapons I just mentioned, but instead they're going to have an assault rifle and a machine gun. And their secondary pistol will be a machine pistol or a micro SMG. So instead of having bigger, heavier weapons, they're just going to have not as good as weapons. Now, if you take out 2 of the 3 arms dealers, instead of having what I just said previously, they'll instead have a compact rifle, a micro SMG. Those are the primary weapons, and their secondary weapons will now be pistols. So already, the guards are less armed, right? This isn't bad. If you've just taken out 2 of them, it's still going to be easier for you. And that's if you trigger the alarm, right? If you spook the guards and they start attacking you, now you don't have to worry about them being as well equipped. But now let's say you take out all 3 of the arms dealers. Now their primary weapons are going to be the mini SMG, which originally, if you don't take out any, is just the side weapon. But that is now going to be their primary, or the SNS pistol. And their secondary weapon is also going to be an SNS pistol or a vintage pistol. So if you've seen my videos on this, like I say, I'll leave one of them linked in the description down below. It makes it so easy. If you trigger the alarms, you don't really have to worry about the guards too much, because I'm sure you've all done it before where you've accidentally triggered the alarm and they will just mow you down. Those Mark II assault rifle, they'll just it's almost like auto aim, and they will just shred your armor, shred your health, and it just makes it more difficult if you trigger the alarm. That's why I say you only really need to do these if you're a newer player or if you're struggling to complete it because you keep dying. Doing this will make it so much easier because their guns won't do that much damage to you. So that's why it's important to complete all 3 of those armed smugglers, because they'll be the weakest possible as far as guns are concerned. And like I say, if you run out of time and you've only done 1, you won't be able to do this again. You can only do it once. But anyway, let's move on to the next one, which is going to be the armor. Now, the next 2 missions, the armor and the air support, are different again from the first one, because the first one, there's 3 different sections, right? And the further along you go, the less good their guns are going to be. But these next 2 are different because you have to complete the entire thing. It's not just like the weapons where you can complete just 1 or 2 of them and it'll get weaker and weaker and weaker. This one, you have to complete the entire thing in order to take advantage of it. And if you don't complete the entire thing, you're not going to get the benefits. So again, this mission is optional. You don't have to do it, but if you are struggling, this is going to make it even easier once again. And for this one, you're instructed to destroy all 10 armor shipments within 10 minutes. And you can't just destroy 3 of them. You have to complete all 10. So you're going to go over to a distribution center where there's going to be 4 crates. You're going to have to blow all of those up. Once you've taken out the crates that are outside, you're going to then go inside of the distribution center where you're going to have to kill more guards and take out even more crates. And once you've done that, the last armor shipment is actually going to be on a boat. And again, you're not going to be able to lock onto the boat, but it's fairly easy to take these things out. It's a very big, slow boat, and you just have to blow it up. And like I say, destroying all 10 armor shipments is mandatory. You have to take out all of these in order to complete the mission. And what this does is it leaves all of El Rubio's guards on the island without armor. So they'll be much easier to take out. So if you've done the weapons one, completed that, they're not going to have very good guns. But now let's say you've done the armor one as well. They're also not going to have any armor. So they're going to be super easy. If you trigger the alarm, they're not going to be able to kill you easily, and you're going to be able to kill them easier. Now, the final one is to disrupt the air support. Now, this is another one where you're going to have to complete the entire thing. You can't just take out a few of them and then stop it, and it'll just be a little bit worsened. You're going to have to take out the entire fleet. You're going to have to do the entire mission. And I think for this, you have 10 minutes also. And if you don't complete it, you're not going to get the benefits. So what are the benefits? So before we get to the benefits, actually, what is the mission? So Parvel will call you and let you know that there's some buzzard attack choppers that are ready to be delivered to El Rubio. And these, as you know, are a pain if you trigger the alarm, because they will just continuously spawn. Literally like every 30 seconds. If you take somebody out, within 30 seconds, there's going to be another one. And it's not like some missions in the game where if you take out like 3 waves of them, they'll stop. This isn't like that. These attack buzzards will continuously spawn. And even though their aim's not great, it's very frustrating. So for this mission, you're going to be instructed to take out 10 buzzard attack choppers. Again, they're going to be within different locations on the map. Some of them will be on the ground. And again, you can't lock onto these. You can lock onto these for this mission. The buzzard one where you have to take out the air support, you can lock onto them. And then some of them are going to be on the back of tugboats. And again, you can't lock onto them, but it is fairly easy to complete. Just make sure you do it within the 10-minute time frame. Otherwise, you're not going to complete the setup mission. But it will look like you've completed it, like I say. So if you fail it, you're going to be like, oh, it shows I can't do it anymore. It's completed. No, it just means you can't do it again. And if you didn't complete it, you're not going to get the benefits. Now, you will have enemy attack choppers chasing you, but in all honesty, you don't have to worry about them. I don't even shoot them down. I just let them do their thing. You're much faster than they are. So the effects of this setup mission, if you are able to complete the entire thing, destroying all 10 buzzards, it'll stop the enemy buzzards from spawning during the finale. So again, if you trigger the alarm, there's not going to be any helicopters chasing you down. So it's just going to make your life a little bit easier. So like I say, doing all 3 of these together, the guards are going to have crappy weapons, they're not going to have any armor, and they're going to have no air support. So if you struggle, it's going to make your life so much easier. So that's going to do it for this video. So in short, if you're somebody that struggles with the Cayo Perico heist and you want to make it even easier, or if you're somebody that keeps dying and you're like, oh my God, these guards are too powerful, or the helicopter kills me. If you do these, you can see just how much easier it makes the Cayo Perico heist. For the weapons, you're going to want to kill all 3 of the arms smugglers or arms dealers. That way, they'll be just shooting you at pea shooters, essentially. And then for the armor shipments, none of the guards will have armor. And then for the buzzards, attack choppers, no air support will be on the Cayo Perico heist finale. And if you want to see a video, like I said, of me doing this, I'll leave 2 of them in the description, actually. So I hope this video helped. And the answer to the question I always get is no, you can't just start these missions and cancel them because you won't get any benefits from doing this. And I think there's probably people out there that are like, the disruption missions seem pointless. I always do that. I start them and then I finish it and it says they're complete, but I haven't noticed any difference. That's because you're not completing them. So sucks to be you. I'm sorry, but hopefully this has cleared it up for you. And let me know in the comments if it helps and if you've been able to finally complete the heist. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day and I'll see you tomorrow as always with a brand new video. Goodbye.